Hi y'all, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. We're doing another video today, and I enjoyed yesterday's video so much, just getting to talk to y'all like this on the camera. So we're going to do that again today. We do have a lot of things to do, as in me and you. We're doing this together. If you got things to do, we can do it together. So I am literally looking outside my office window right now, and the other day I did a video where I had cut back a bunch of tree limbs and more so like little branches. It's a small tree. I did that and I pulled a bunch of weeds out of the beds. There's still some areas like my bushes. I have a rose bush, a yellow bush, and then 2 bushes in the front. All of them really need to be weeded around their little circle too. That way I have like these little white rocks I can put back around them and just make it look really pretty. And today's not a super hot day. It is going to be in the 80s, but I think it's going to be 82. And tomorrow it's going to be 93. So today should be a good day to do this. And it's a little bit windy out there, which is good. But basically I've got some things that I need to pick up after myself. We've got some more weeding to do, and then in the backyard, a little bit further out in the backyard where we have a fire pit, I had put corn out there. The corn is done out there and a bunch of the roots are still in the ground. I basically just want to get that area cleared out because it's also super tall with grass, and I don't like tall grass in my yard because I just think of things that I can't see that may be underneath it that would bite me like a snake. So that's the plan for today. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you like mobile home living videos, and let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, here's the rose bush. You can see all the grassy stuff underneath there, and it is grown up so much that you can't really see the rocks that are going around it. I also want to get this pruned today. It's got a lot of roses on it, but some of them are looking rough, so I'll get that taken care of. And then this one's not too bad. It's mostly just along the rocks. A little bit of grass in there. The nice thing is, because we do have mulch down, it's really easy to pull what's in the mulch because it's pretty much growing in the mulch and not really rooted that well into the ground.
True survivor, standing tall amongst the brave. It's time to rise up, yelling glory to the saved. And we fall, we reign, we rise again. Before the pain, we try so hard to feel sane. It's all in the rain. Always keeping us restless with the lights, keeping us restless with the lights. Lighting a fire for the night, let it burn, keep in sight, keep your spirit up at night. There's a miracle alive. All the pain inside your bones, all the cold inside your homes. You were never all alone, all alone. Always keeping us restless with the lights. Keeping us restless with the lights. Always keeping us restless with the lights. Keeping us restless with the lights.
It's too late, I know now. I'm giving in, I can't back down. And you're so hot, your web I'm caught. Just one more night, tell me to stop. Although I know we must come to an end. I tell myself I'm okay, but I know that I shouldn't pretend. I'ma do it anyway, gonna beat up, want you bad love. I'ma let my hair down now, wanna get down to my favorite sound. I'ma let you in real close, I know I shouldn't do this right. I'ma do it anyway, kinda wanna lock this down.
So close to being done with this rose bush. It has been quite a few minutes since I talked to y'all, so I just wanted to pop on and catch up a little bit. I am about to move over to the yellow bush, which is a ligustrum, and they kind of look like a fern, but I got it at Lowe's a couple years ago, and I also got this one at Lowe's about 4 years ago, and I like both of them. As you can see, the rose bush has gotten huge. I did not get to, oh my goodness, pruning the rose bush. And at the end of this video, I did go through with my little push mower and mow a little bit. But y'all, I pretty much got heat exhaustion yesterday. My body was tingly by the end of this. My head was pounding. I was getting like goosebumps just sitting down, even though it's hot outside. So a word of caution from me, take more breaks. I took breaks. I like paused. I made sure I was drinking a lot of water. I definitely had, okay, I have one of those Stanley cups and I drank 2 of them. So the one I have is the 32 ounce one. So I at least had 60 ounces of water yesterday. That's when I filmed this, but even with that, the heat just sucks all of that energy out, and my headache did not go away for like an hour, and then it finally started going away. But yeah, if you are out in the heat and you're doing stuff like this, be careful. About halfway through, when we got to, and now we're to the yellow bush, when we got to doing the weeding in the mulch around the pavers and where all the weeds are, where the corn was growing up, I did take out my little fan with me and just have the fan blowing on me, because that's about the time I started to feel a little tired and everything. But I wanted to get this done. There are still things I didn't get done. I wanted to weed eat with my trimmer. I wanted to prune the rose bush. And then I noticed, you know, when you're outside and you're doing stuff, you'll be in one area and then you'll see, oh my gosh, here's this over here too. I want to get to that. So there were things that I just did not get to today. And it's already close to 12:30 p.m. On the day I'm uploading this. And I also film on the days I upload for the next day. And so I think, because it's already getting late and I have almost a whole hour left to edit this, I'm gonna see what Aaron thinks, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna take it really easy tomorrow in that video and just do a day in the life, just film whatever I'm doing today, what I find myself doing. I know I have laundry, I have dishes, all those things, but also he did mention wanting to go see if a prescription was ready for him. So if that's the case, I did notice Walmart. I had showed y'all the clearance section, and then I showed you kind of like how Target has the area where all the new stuff comes in. I showed you that too, but I did not show you their home decor section. And when we were there the other day, I don't even know what we were there for. We just, it was, the laundry detergent and stuff like that. I spotted a bunch of new decor that looks like it would be good for fall, but it's all, like neutral colors, so you could use them any time of year. So look forward to that. But yeah, the title, I'm pretty sure in the thumbnail of this video, I should have stopped or something like that. I don't know. But the heat exhaustion is what that was about. That was rough. So be careful. If you start feeling nauseous outside, you're getting goosebumps in the heat, a headache, a heart is pounding in your head, take a very good rest because you need it.
If I could go back and make things right, I would have it undone.
Alright, I am done with those two. Still have to go back through and prune, rake all of that up. And then I do plan to do mowing and some weed eating today, so we'll make it look even nicer. Now I'm going to work on this one, and then I have another one of these on the other side of my porch. I hadn't planned to do this area today, but as I was walking to the other bush on the other side of my steps, I did notice around some of these blocks there is grass and weeds, so I went ahead and got those pulled up. And then in the background, y'all can see the pumpkins hanging, and behind the pumpkin on this side of me, that big plant climbing up the pole is a pumpkin plant. I'm so excited. There are a ton of pumpkins on there, and I am hoping that this year the pumpkins do a lot better than they did last year. Last year we got a bunch of, I think they're called boars. They basically look like stink bugs, and they lay their eggs and use the pumpkin plant. They like squash plants. You could call them squash bugs. And last year it was just really hard to compete with them. I would pick them off with a butter knife, and it would just be really hard. So I only ended up getting one pumpkin, but I was telling my friends the other day that that pumpkin plant is almost as tall as me. It just keeps growing and growing. And honestly, I feel like I need to attach something else to the pole to make it even taller, because I feel like, you know, it's already at the top, so it's running out of space. It's even started to latch on to the bird feeder that's empty over there, and it was trying to latch on to my hanging basket over there too, and I had to get its little legs off of that. But y'all know I love watching things grow, so to see the pumpkin plant get so tall, and now that it's kind of up off the ground for the most part, I am hopeful that we're going to get a lot of cute pumpkins out of it. And this plant is actually, it's just one of those where you have pumpkins out in your yard or like on your steps, and then when the fall's over, you kind of just chuck them in the yard. Well, yeah, that's what happened. So I had just a rotted pie pumpkin of all things that ended up creating this big old plant. And this is the second year, because last year I think I did have pumpkins out, but I did not let them go bad like I did the year before. So that's pretty cool. This is the area that's super grown up. The first thing I'm going to do is get this compost barrel out of here, and it's pretty broken down now, so it wasn't too heavy to get out of there. I also had a little solar light in here that my mom got me, and you can see the blueberry bush, and then off to the right is our grapevine, and the lattice kind of is its run. So I am going to take the rake. I was going to rake even with the little corn stalks in there, but that did not work. So you will see me pick those up and move them off to the side. And then I'm just taking the rake along the grass to break it down a little bit. And then also, if there are any snakes or spiders or anything like that, frogs, it kind of gives them time to run away because they're hearing and feeling stuff moving around. There's a couple of cats. One of them y'all know, one of them you don't. Neither one of them belong to me, but I live in a mobile home park, so pretty much the cats and dogs around here belong to everybody's yard, if that makes sense. They don't know any better, so they're like, hey, we got all this land out here, let's roam around. Anyway, what do y'all's cats do? Because I have Margaret and Lucy, and I don't know if it's because they are indoor cats for the most part, but when I let them outside, they stay in the yard. Margaret is either in the front, right by the steps, because it stays shady there a while, and she likes to lay in the mulch and then go after the like insects and stuff she sees flying around, like dragonflies. And then Lucy, she will go outside in the backyard and just sit on the porch or just be in the yard. Sometimes I'll see her around the pavers, but she really doesn't go that far. So I'm curious, if you let your cats outside, do they kind of just stay in the yard, or do they like to do their little hunting and kind of travel further? Oh, that does remind me. Because Lucy did travel further, but when we got them spayed, they is it spayed for cats? I think so. Anyways, we got them spayed, and when we did, Lucy stopped kind of wandering off, and she stayed in the yard. So that's one plus. If you have animals, if you have cats and you get them spayed, I feel like a lot of their instincts to go off and hunt and like mate and stuff are gone. So they kind of just stick around. last year we set up this raised bed. So basically, it is just a border, and then we have the black, like geotextile fabric that you put under here. Now, I do like this fabric better than I do the plasticky fabric that you can use. I used the plasticky stuff on where this mulch is that y'all can see, and I also used it where the yellow bush is. And whenever I go to pull weeds from that, well, grass really, the grass does grow through it. And then also, when I go to pull it, I just feel like I am kind of ripping. I almost want to call it the bag, because it feels like a cheap, plasticky bag that's been woven together. So I would much prefer this stuff. But also, I'm just starting to think, is weed barrier even necessary? Because I put weed barrier down and we put some gravel underneath the, what do you call it? I want to call it a grill. Oh my goodness, it is a grill. Y'all, I kept saying cookout in my head. I want to be invited to your cookouts if you have some. Anyways, this, I don't know that the weed barrier works. It works good for like a season. And then the next year, there's grass and stuff growing through it. And here's Lucy. So she's just checking out what I'm doing. Oh, and while I was over here, I had saw this big grass spider. And I was worried that I had moved her egg sac somewhere. Because normally the grass spiders see you before you see them, and then they're running. So it was a little strange to me that she was just kind of frozen there looking at me. So I looked over behind me in my pile to see if there was any egg sacs there. They just look like white cotton balls. That'd be a good way to notice them. So I didn't see anything, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know. And then I looked, I kind of turned my head down, and I looked, and I saw that they were actually underneath her body. So I think she was just trying to stay as still as possible so that I didn't do anything to her, because she was holding her babies. And I just thought that was so sweet. And that's another reason why I do kind of like tickle the grass a little bit before I get going, because I don't want to injure anything that's in here. I'm already doing enough by taking their roof off of their house. It wasn't last year, but it was honestly probably 3-4 years ago at this point. I do think I already had a YouTube channel, but it was pretty early on. And I remember, which if y'all have been here for a while, you know I cried over a jumping spider because it liked to be near my sink. And then, you know, when you put the casserole dish in the sink and you put some water in it and then let it soak. Well, I did that, and I woke up the next morning and the little black jumping spider was in the water. And I was like, well, if I had not left this here, he probably would have been fine. So learned that lesson, cried over that, filmed about it and everything. But the first time we had already gotten the Cobalt electric trimmer. So yeah, it probably was about 4 years ago, because I don't think we had that the first year I did YouTube, and I'm almost coming up. October 5th, I think, or 20th will be 5 years of making videos like this with y'all, and boy, have we come so far. It was a frog. There was a big frog, and it was around this area. And at the time, we had plastic kiddie pools out here. There was no mulch here, no pavers, and I had put soil in them and used them as raised beds. Well, I was weed eating around all of that, and I saw a frog, a big frog, you know. I turned off the mower, and I walked over to it. It looked okay, you know. it was breathing and everything, because you know how frogs, you can kind of see their glands and stuff move back and forth. Well, I went back out there much later to see if it was still in the same spot, and it was. It was actually near the little blueberry bush right there. That was before we had any of this. All we had out there was the blueberry bush. So, of all things, I went in the house, and I don't even know why I'm sharing this. I went in the house and I grabbed an empty, I had one of those like celestial tea boxes. And I went out there, I picked up the frog, not with my bare hands, but I picked it up with something. And I put it in the box. And then I actually dug. This is where, y'all may remember, you know where the tree is by our back door? Well, down there, I showed y'all the other day where there's just a random watermelon growing up because we had eaten watermelon outside that had seeds in it. That is where I buried the frog in the box. So I know where it is. If I dug up that area, I would probably come across it. The box probably wouldn't be there anymore. It's probably long gone. But and who knows, the frog maybe too. But I just felt so bad about it that I wanted to give him a proper burial. Anyways, that's a little bit about me. If you're new, I love animals and insects and all the things. Basically, I don't think that animals or anything should be harmed unless you are protecting yourself, because, you know, that's obvious, or you're eating it. Okay, because I eat a burger too. I had pepper steak and onions last night because I did all this work outside and I was like, there's no way I'm cooking anything. And Aaron's sister had told us about, and I was probably talking to Aaron here, I need to go get some water because my throat is dry. But she was talking about this Chinese / they also do Japanese food at their restaurant, and you can like go through the drive-thru and you just order on the phone and then go pick it up. So that's what we did. Aaron he always gets the General Tso whenever we go to a place where they have like mostly Chinese food. And then whenever we go to a Japanese place, he gets the teriyaki chicken, which is also really good. It's Shoto's in Lexington, North Carolina. That is Aaron's favorite place for Japanese food. They give you, well, you can pick from like a soup or a salad, but we always get salad with ranch. Order their chicken and cheese egg rolls or their fried pickles. Both are really good. And they do their fried pickles different. So they don't cut them horizontally. They cut them vertically, like, you know, like a hot dog. So they're really long, but they are really thin. But you get a lot of pickle flavor that way. And I've noticed the like Farm Rich box, whenever we get the frozen pickles from that brand, it's like hardly any pickle and just a bunch of flour. And I like to taste the pickle. That is the same thing with onion rings. I was watching Good Mythical Morning, and it was the blind taste test, and they were taste testing a bunch of onion rings, and both of them, their gripes were when there's not any onion in the onion ring. That drives me nuts. Rhett was saying that he prefers onion rings, but he normally orders fries at fast food places because they don't know how to make a good onion ring. And I agree. We need layers of onion. Lots, like a thick onion coated in batter. That's what we need. We should just make some homemade ones one day. And yeah, now I'm getting off track. This is the funny part. This video is a yard transformation, and I'm sitting here talking about everything but my yard. But y'all can see it. So I guess this just gives you something to think about whatever you're watching. And we're almost done in this little hole. And then I've got so many other areas with weeds in them. This did give me a little bit of trouble, but because the weed barrier was there, they weren't like super stuck in the ground. But for some reason, when I got over in the mulch, that's when I started feeling really bad because we have crabgrass and it has one main root, but then it crawls like mint, cucumber, watermelon. So I was having to find all the little crawlers, kind of bundle them up, and then go in like a claw that you're like using the claw machine to get a stuffed animal and pull out where the root actually was, because I don't want to have as many weeds next time when I do this. Alright, y'all, I've still got to pull all the loose stuff. Everything's pulled right here, but I do have to pull weeds. There's some weeds in this mulch on that side of the tree, and then in the grapevine over there.
Sometimes I'm fine, but sometimes I feel the FOMO. That's why I feel you will never understand me. 'Cause I'm not cool, girl, you thought you'd never get it. I'm ready for you and me. What you wanna get, what you wanna get, what you wanna get, make your wish. And what I bring, will never disappoint you. So come along, baby, you and me can do it all night. The feeling my
I believe this is the last area I'm going to be pulling weeds from, and I did not get to all the weeds, but I at least wanted to get all the weeds around the tree and then in this corner right here next to the pavers, because it's starting to kind of look overgrown. So I'm going to get this done. There's still areas around the grill that have a lot of weeds that I do plan to get to in a future video. So we'll just kind of keep going, which, this is something that I do every year and I will most likely have to do for years to come, where I just have to keep up with the weeding because we have a lot of areas with mulch. So that means a lot of yard work, but I love it. So anyways, this is around the time where I started feeling like I can't do too much anymore. My head was pounding, so I would take a break and just sit there and, kind of calm back down a little bit. And then when I would go and start to work again, a minute would go by and then the head would start pounding again. So eventually I just kind of called it quits on pulling weeds. And I will say it was probably when I was outside this day, it was from around 11. And then I think I finally went in around 6 or something like that. We did go and get dinner. We came back, we ate, and then I went back outside and picked up what we had, like piles of all these piles from pulling weeds from today and then the last video. So I did have probably an hour worth of just being in the air conditioning and stuff, but 11 to around 6 most of the time being out here. And it was, I think, 80. It was either 80, I think it was 82 or 85 yesterday. It wasn't super hot, but it's already 90 degrees right now and it's 1 o'clock. But from that 1 o'clock to, I feel like 5 p.m., it's as hot as it's going to be outside. That's how I have always felt. But Erin did come out here and check on me quite a few times, and before we went to go get something to eat, he had said you need to take like a really good break. He said this too, but I agree. I've always said I don't know how people are able to tell someone how they feel physically, or if they shouldn't be feeling that way physically, if I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the whole pain scale thing. You could say that your pain is a level 10, but what is a level 10 pain? Like, what would be considered that? Because I don't know how to scale my pain or how I feel, which is I don't know if it's something to do with some of my health things that I have, which are mostly mental. But I will say, I forget to drink water. I forget to go to the bathroom. I forget to, what's the other one? Oh my goodness. I was literally about to tell y'all. Oh, like this. I don't know how I feel. If I feel bad, or if this is like, I'm just being active and this is what being active feels like, I guess. Yeah, no, that's not true. If you start feeling your heart and your head, yeah, definitely coming close to passing out. And I did feel dizzy one time, and it was right here in this area, because those pieces of grass, specifically next to those two pavers, I remember I lifted one of the pavers. It was so stubborn. So, yeah, strenuous work in the heat. Also, I am a little bit heavier, so I think that is also a contributing factor. Just not a good combo, ladies and gentlemen. Please be safe out there, because I know a lot of us do like being outside, but
And a lot of us like to get things done. That's another thing about me is if I start something, it would drive me crazy if I have to pause or if I have to stop completely. Because if I get going, then I can focus. But if I lose that focus, it's hard to get it back. So that's, the first thing when you wake up, and the hardest part is getting started. But once you get started, it does make everything so much easier. I'm just going on a rampage, y'all. And I'm saying this based on like experience of I used to do this. So let's just say it that way. I used to get up and just dread doing anything. I don't know if I would just think about all the things that I wanted to do that day, and then I was basing it off of how I felt when I woke up. And most of us when we wake up feel groggy and like we need a moment to wake up even though our eyes are open. And I don't know if it's because I'm at home now and I can start working whenever, but because I did, we all go to school and then we get our jobs, which is kind of similar because we have to wake up and be there at a certain time and then we get to go home at a certain time. I got so used to that routine that even now, sometimes when I will wake up, I will think, okay, I have got to get up, get ready, get straight to work. And I forget that because I do work from home, I don't have to just immediately get to work. I can slowly ease in to the morning. And if you have that privilege, if you're able to do that, or if you do always wake up and you dread going about your day, if at all possible, wake up maybe 30 minutes if you got it an hour earlier, which I know is not realistic to a lot of people, but just if you could give yourself that time where your body has time to adjust to you being awake, it makes a world of difference. And don't make any decisions while you're still laying in bed on what you're going to do that day. And that kind of, because when I was in school, I would wake up and there would be a lot of days where I would tell my mom, oh, I don't want to go, I don't feel good. But then I would get up and she would let me stay. And then when I would get up and I'd be moving around, I'd feel fine. I wasn't sick. I was just not motivated. And I know when we wake up, our cortisol levels shoot up. So it may be something to do with that. But I know for me, I cannot base what I'm going to do that day off of how I feel first thing in the morning. Because if I did, I would not get anything done. So I don't know why I went on that rant. Y'all, this is I wanted to say a long ass video. It is a long ass video. Excuse my language. It just is. It's almost an hour. And if I just played music the whole time, I feel like a bunch of you would fall asleep. So I hope you're enjoying this. I don't even know what I've talked about because it's so long, but I am about to cut in the video and y'all will hear, but I'm talking to my neighbor and he was mentioning, did you hear about Hulk Hogan passing away? And he just did, I think yesterday, he was 71 of cardiac arrest. And then, of course, Ozzy Osbourne. And then when I was turning on and he didn't mention this one, but when I was turning on my computer to edit, the coroner's report came back for Anne, which was the Worst Chef host. I really liked her. And it came back with how she passed away, which I won't mention it because it's really sad.
What? Yeah, it's gonna be hotter. Yeah. I'm getting everything done today. Sad? Sad? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I do. That's not very old. That's not that old. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
All right, y'all. So that was my next door neighbor that lives on the one with the red roof. Is not the one I was talking to. I don't know how to say. Okay, it's the left of me, but technically it's the right. But where the camera's facing it, it would be on the left. Anyways, and he's also like pretty much family. Aaron's mom's, I guess you could say like friend. They used to not be just friends, but I think now they are just friends, but they still live together and everything, and they help each other out, so that's pretty cool. And I really like him, but his brother is the one that lives next door to us, so it's kind of like having family there. And he will come out and talk and say, like, do the small talk and everything. So honestly, that's helped me learn how to do small talk, because I don't like small talk, but also I don't know how to do it, and I think that's why I don't like it, because I'm like, what am I supposed to say? Unless we're talking about something really deep, or it's something that like I'm super, super interested in, that you could get me talking and I won't shut up. The small talk is really hard. It almost sounds like I don't care, but I do. It's just I don't really know how to communicate properly in a lot of areas. Obviously, I'm sure y'all could tell by the way I talk in videos, the pattern and everything. Sometimes I talk really fast. Sometimes there's really long gaps in between each word. But yeah, anyways, he was letting me know about a couple of people that had passed away this week, and it reminded me of Amber passing away too. A lot of lives going. But that's something I never really thought about whenever I was young, and now that I'm older, I've had a lot of my friends pass away around me, and Aaron's had a lot of his friends pass away, and then all the celebrities that you think about, that you think, oh, well, I'll always be able to watch them on TV, I'll always be able to see their movies or hear their new songs, and then you realize, no, they're human, and one day they're gonna go as well. So it's always, it's kind of, with Ozzy Osbourne, I feel like it's kind of bittersweet, because he was in pain. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and he got to do his final show and everything. And so it was like a nice send-off, if you will. But yeah, I had been watching, I don't know if it's because of just things happening in the media around his name, but on YouTube it was recommending me to watch a bunch of their old TV show, the Osbournes TV show, and that's mostly what I remember from him. But I also do like, metal and all those things. So he was a part of he was the lead singer of Black Sabbath, if you did not know. So that's a very popular band. Can't do it. The crazy scream thing he does at the beginning of the song. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So now I'm coming over here and picking up all of my piles that I had done today, and then also the other day.
Did it all for you. not gonna see me bleed. Cause baby, I got you. I've been beaten to the ground, dragged across the dirt. I've been scared to live cause some people never learn. But they're not gonna watch me burn. Cause baby, I got you. It's a new beginnings and a better life. It's the dancing underneath the disco lights. They can try but they can never take me down.
So I really wanted to get this stretch of the yard down to a 2. And this was just what I was going to do on this day, but the grass is kind of wet, so I still wasn't able to get it down to a 2 without it getting clogged up on me. So I ended up cutting it at a 3, and I don't know if I'm just going to have to go out there like every day before I can get it down to a 2 and then keep it at a 2. And Erin was mentioning to me that they say that you should only cut 1/2 inch at a time. Yeah. So, and I don't know if he means like the whole week or a day, or if I could just cut 1/2 inch and then do my round again and cut it even lower and then cut it lower again. If you cut it too low, it can kind of turn your grass a little brown.
Cause I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. They always prey on the lonely, but with you here nothing can scare me. I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love you. Not afraid to love you. Not afraid to love you. I'm gonna go where my heart is. From now on, I'm being honest.
Alright, y'all, that wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and this gave you all the yard motivation you could ever need. And I will see y'all back here. I will see you back here tomorrow. You might have just heard a toilet flush. That's real life. Anyways, love you. Bye.